Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Comedy Hangout podcast. I'm Chris, the independent filmmaker.
I'm Jessica, not the independent filmmaker.
Yeah. And boy, do we have a film for you to review tonight. This film that we're going to review played out in a nonlinear narrative. It's told in 6 chapters, completely out of order.
Yeah.
And starting in the middle. Is this a confusing mess or a genius move? Stay tuned. All right, so welcome back to the Horror Comedy Hangout podcast. This movie we have, what do we have tonight to review?
Tonight we are reviewing Strangedarling.
Strangedarling, yay!
It's
Yes.
not a typical horror comedy, but this movie was too good to pass up to do a review on.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, because we review horror comedy movies, and this is not a comedy
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Not.
But what do we usually do every podcast?
Yeah. So every podcast we cheers. It could be an alcoholic or an alcoholic drink.
Non-alcoholic.
Non-alcoholic.
Yes.
That's what I said.
No, you said alcoholic or alcoholic.
Oh, Lord. It could be an alcoholic or a non-alcoholic drink. Sorry about that. So Chris, of course, has got his old-fashioned. I'm switching it up tonight with some wine.
All right, a little cheers to Strange Darlings. Good color. All right. Like again said, welcome, and we are reviewing Strange Darling. This movie became on the radar a little bit ago. It's been out for just a very short period of time, so we're a little behind the times, but we want to get this not that long ago.
No.
So this story involves a couple people that we like.
Yeah.
A couple characters. This involves
Willa Fitzgerald,
Willa Fitzgerald, yes.
who is amazing in this movie.
Yeah, we watched her on Reacher.
Reacher, yeah, the new Reacher.
The new Reacher show. She did really good on that show. And then this stars, which her character, she didn't have a name. She was just called the woman.
Yeah.
On this film. And then we have the other main character, which is Kyle Gallner. He played the demon on this. And Kyle Gallner's been around for a while, but lately he has come on real strong. I'm been watching some of his movies. He was in Scream 5. He was in this movie called The Passenger.
Oh, that was pretty recent too.
You watched that one?
I've seen bits
and pieces of that.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to meet the director of The Passenger, Carter Smith, at the Origins Film Festival out in Tucson that I was lucky enough to go to. And if you watch Strange Darling and then go watch The Passenger, Carter Smith was a really gracious guy, great director, and more to come from him. But Kyle Gallner was in that, and amazing performance. So
just like this movie too.
Yeah, so I think he's. I like to see where he's going.
Yeah,
because he has really come on strong, even though he's been around probably 20 years or so at this point.
Really?
It's been a long time. So this movie is a cat and mouse thriller. It's like follows a serial killer and that one that got away. Right. This starts with a one night stand that just goes off the rails.
Yeah.
Would you say so?
It's definitely put it mildly. Yeah, and I think that this was just like such an on this like edge of the seat for me when I was watching. I was kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen next? You're just kind of left guessing the entire time of the film. And the other thing I really liked about this is all the bright colors from like start to finish, which really drew you in as a audience. Yeah. Especially like I was so drawn to all the reds and the bright colors.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit too, because you got a little ahead, but that's okay. I'm glad that you brought that up because the colors were a big part of this film, and that's why I liked it. It wasn't just the characters; it was also, how it was filmed. We're going to talk about who filmed it here in a moment, and then about the music as well. All these things played a big parts in how this film came together. So this film was written by J.T. Mollner. I hadn't heard of him before this at all.
Yeah, I haven't either.
He's been doing some things. And now he's on my radar for sure. This guy is really cool. He told this story, like I said from the beginning, he told this story out of sequence, right? So we started it started in chapter 3?
Yeah, I believe it started in chapter 3. Which...
1 through 6.
Yeah.
And it starts in chapter 3, which it started off
was such a bang, I feel like.
Yeah, it was a chase right from the start.
Yeah. It's just, I think, like, draws you in very quickly. And then the story just kind of builds upon that. And then you start to really put the puzzle pieces together of the movie, and you're sucked in, like, quickly.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about this movie so far.
Yeah. So what were you saying?
What do you mean, what was I saying? No, this is like, we were talking about that chase in the very beginning. And I'm kind of like that cat and mouse.
And I think I know why he started with the chase, because it reminded him of the final girl chases, like Halloween. Halloween was one of his big inspirations that he was thinking of. That was his first scene. And I think, I know as a writer too, I always have that first scene in my head, and that's what springs the whole story at times. And that was his thing, was that Halloween, the girl running through the woods, and that final girl. That was his first scene that he came up with, and then it just grew from there. Yes, so that's how it really started. And this is what amazes me with this story, is the script and how he wrote this out of order. He didn't write it literally and then cut it up into different chapters. He wrote it out of order, starting with that chase and then going on through the whole story. And what I like about that is, when you watch the movie, it brings you right up to this spot, and then you go backwards.
Yeah.
And then you're like, because there's certain scenes in there that are kind of disturbing, and you're like, oh my God. And then right when you're like, I can't take this anymore, it flips back.
Yep.
It shows you how it went from up to that point. And then you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to say, like, sucks you in just to pull you right back out. And then you kind of get the context of what's going on in that previous scene that sucked you in so much. So it definitely, like, there was definitely a couple parts in the movie where I was like, womp, womp. Like, I was ready to call it, throw in the towel. And then Chris was like, no, you have to stick with it. Like, we've got to stick with this movie. And I'm so glad I did, because my entire perspective and mind changed on this movie as soon as it got through this little lull part.
Right.
It had to tell that story.
Right.
You have to pay attention.
And I'm still going to harp on the JT Mollner, because I think just keep an eye on this guy, because he understands the language of storytelling and the emotions that these characters are being, as they're chasing each other through the woods. He talks about the judgments we put on people and without knowing them. And I think that's what really plays well with this story, is you start judging these people
Quickly.
and you're quickly, or sooner or later, you'll be like, oh, I had the wrong judgment on this person. So that's what's so amazing about this story. And obviously an indie film, low budget film as well.
Which is awesome. We love low budget films because they're usually, like, amazing. Yeah, and they're fun.
Because I make low budget films.
Yes, you do make low budget films, and then I critique them.
Yeah, and not only the script, but we have to talk about who shot this film, because the other thing is this person blew me away, that they are an accomplished cinematographer, because they're an accomplished actor.
Which is, like, mind-blowing. This was the first film he shot, right?
This is the first, his first major film that he shot, and this is Giovanni Ribisi, which is a very accomplished actor. I've loved him, and he's been in so many movies and TV shows.
Not been in.
I know, and he shot this film. He is a friend of JT Mollner. JT Mollner sent him the script, and he read it, like, straight through.
How good this movie is.
And called him back, and he's like, I need to be a part of this film. I don't care what I do. I just want to be part of this film. And JT and him were like, oh, we could shoot it. You could shoot it. So he shot this film.
And he did an incredible job.
He shot this film on 35 millimeter film, which is even crazier that they shot it on film. So that gives it that gritty look, the colors look. That was the other thing, like you were saying in the beginning, is the colors were so vibrant.
Vivid,
vibrant colors. You know, when they're having that one night stand and that kind of thing, those reds just really stood out. Before they even went into the hotel, the blue, they had some deep, the whole screen was blue. It was just, so these colors really stood out in this film, and it really becomes part of the film. just like the score as well.
Wait, can I say one more thing about the colors though? Because it was such a mind-blowing thing for me. Sure. So another thing that really impressed me about the coloring, like it's talking about going back to the hotel room and where the one night stand takes place. They do mention in the film something about morning time, but I completely forgot the line, and I was so drawn into what was going on in this room and the colors and the saturation of everything that when they went from the room back outside, I was like, oh my God, it's morning. That's how much this film just draws you in and how much the color draws you in. And you're just completely lost and immersed in this like amazing film that's happening. So I totally was like, wait, it's morning. It's morning outside. You went from like night to morning and you completely forgot that they mentioned it. So that was what really blew me away about the film.
And then the music was really good. They played Love Hurts a lot. That was yeah. That one. So that really stood out.
It hurts in this movie.
And then Love Hurts, and it really matches
oh man,
Love Hurts in this film.
It does hurt.
It does hurt.
It really hurt.
It really hurt in that film. But so most of these songs were done by Z Berg.
Who?
Z Berg.
Wow, I should really know that.
Yes.
That's bad.
She again saw the script, read the script. It was like, I had to be part of this film. So she did all the songs except for one that was sung by Jeannie Mollner, which is JT Mollner's mother. Yeah. This was a family affair and friend affair, because he's friends with, Giovanni Ribisi. So, everybody, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love this film.
She loves this film.
I love this film.
What were some of the good things what did you like in this film? I think you've said most of it. I like.
What do you want me to say besides giving it away? Oh, I know what I can say. I will say I've kind of not really followed Ella Fitzgerald's career, but I've definitely seen her in quite a few things that she does. Ella?
Not Ella. Willa.
Willa. Damn it. Edit. Pause. Cut it. Edit.
No, it's funny. Keeping it in there. We're keeping that in there.
Dang it. Willa. Sorry, Willa. Fitzgerald is my favorite old-time singer, and I guess you just kind of brought to my head. Sorry. So Willa Fitzgerald, I will say this is probably one of the best performances I've ever seen done by her, just because she really brought her A game to this film, and you really feel like her raw emotion in this, and then just watching her evolve in the film and really finding out who she is and what she's about.
Yeah.
What are you mimicking me for?
No, I'm agreeing. That's really good point. Keep going.
No, I'm done. You can go now.
All right, I'll keep going then.
Yeah, because I messed up her name. My bad.
No, we'll talk about Ella Fitzgerald some other time, I guess. And you're like, Willa Fitzgerald too. Right?
Yeah, I love Willa Fitzgerald. Sorry, girl. My bad.
Yeah, so the good thing, just the tension remained high. It was such a visceral, raw film to me. Mm-hmm. It just, you could feel it. You can cut the hair with a knife. It's just like the tension that was so high. And the two were just so vulnerable throughout this film. I think the challenge was the preconceived notions of this film and the gender roles and the victimizing. It really flips everything on your head, and it just, you have to watch it to understand what I'm saying there. But I liked that flipping the roles and everything like that, and the preconceived notions that we do have and stereotypes that we do have. It really flips everything on its head and makes you just pay attention and watch.
Yeah,
like you said, the performances were amazing.
Yeah, every inch of the performances were truly amazing. And I will say too, another thing about this movie is you have to really sit down and focus and pay attention to every detail in this movie, because if you don't, you're gonna start to get lost because the chapters don't flow in order like a normal movie. It just bounces around. But again, it all makes sense. You just really have to pay attention, because at certain points I was like, wait a minute, what did he say? What did she say? Oh, okay, now I get it. So it's definitely
pay attention.
Pay attention. Yeah.
Pay attention.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Very nice. I like that. So anything negative on the film that you think?
I would probably say my one negative is just that the middle kind of gets a little slow. It's like the beginning to the going into the middle, pushing the movie further. I definitely will say that's where I kind of hit my limit of what's gonna go. It just starts out with such a bang in this movie, and then you kind of hit that lull. but it works because you have to follow the narrative. And then once you kind of get through the lull, the whole movie just starts to move again very, very quick. And then you're realizing why all of that dialogue and all of that.
And you said that at the beginning too, because you were like, I was like, you gotta stay and watch.
Yeah, I was ready to throw it.
You were throwing it. I'm like, no, stick with this film. You really like this film.
Because I was hooked in the beginning, and then to that point, I was like, oh no.
I have very few negatives on this.
That was fun.
Really impressed with this film.
Yeah.
Okay. The couple negatives that I did have is the hotel scene might be hard to watch for some people, but that's why I said when you watch that chapter, then the chapter flips back, then you're like, oh, okay. So that's a thing you kind of have to stick with and fight through that for some people. That might be hard to watch.
Yeah. You got to be a little bit more open-minded for that.
Yeah.
A little bit for this movie. I will say.
Just remember it's a film.
Yeah.
The other thing is, since it does go out of order and you're just surprised by each time that the chapters move and you're like, oh my God, it reveals something else. Now that we've watched it, if you go back and watch it again, it's like, oh, I know it's coming next. And I already know what that scene, like that hard scene to watch. You're like, I already know who's what and who's where. I don't want to give away too much.
We can't give away too much.
And the other thing too is, and I know a lot of reviewers have said this too as well, is go into it. Don't watch the trailer. Go in blind, but just
much away.
Yeah, we're not giving much away. This is a spoiler-free review, obviously. Now that you're all the way through this film, this review,
and this film,
and this review, so it might be hard to watch again because you know what's coming up on that.
Yeah, but I also think like I would watch it again just to go back because I feel like there's so much that goes on in this film too. You're like, I need to watch it again just so I capture everything because it's.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, this
I'm gonna watch it again, obviously, just because J.T. Mollner would be that filmmaker that you need to watch it again because you need to see what he's put into the film. He's put so much thought and time into it. There's stuff that you probably missed the first time through, so you need to watch it again. Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure.
So this is to me being a filmmaker and a writer. Yeah. That's what I love to do. I think that's the other thing that it really grabs me with J.T. Mollner and writing this film. Obviously, it's not written in linear fashion nor shot in linear fashion. So that blows my mind that he wrote that. He really had to think through that. But the plot of this film is basic. It's two people, and that's the other thing about this film. There's very few people in this film, and it keeps you going. There's not a lot of characters. Mm-hmm. And then two people, they have a one-night stand that goes horribly wrong. That's basically what the film is about. And if I tell you that, you're like, I don't want to watch that film. That's
like every other film.
That's every other film.
Yeah.
And it's low budget, but doesn't look low budget.
No. Oh my God.
The difference in this film is the execution of this film. And that's the difference. If you're a writer and a filmmaker out there, that's the difference. You don't need a huge
budget.
You don't need a huge idea. You need a good idea. Doesn't have to be a great idea, but it has to be executed great.
Yeah.
At least really good. And that's what J.T. Mollner does in this, because he executes it great. And it just reminds me of a screenwriter I follow, Michael Jamin, and he's a professional screenwriter in LA, does a lot of TV shows. And he said this, because I've taken his class, that it only has to be a good idea, but it has to be, the script can be good, but the execution has to be great. And
that film proves it.
And this film proves it, that statement is correct. That statement is correct. So for everybody out there, and I take that too, and I'm like, okay, I have a good idea, but I have to execute it great. Mm-hmm. Yes. So that's what it really does with this. And that's the difference in this film and the look in this film and the way it plays out is it was executed great. He wrote a great script, I think, as well.
He hit home with this one.
Yeah. It was very real and visceral, and you feel it. And that's the difference.
That's what I said. That's why I said you're totally sucked in.
All right. And
you guys like my t-shirt?
Yeah.
I'm very cheesy tonight.
I like mine too. Yes. So, hey, if you're are enjoying this and these our reviews and all our reviews and interviews, just please like and subscribe. We that helps us out on our channel a lot and helps us continue to make these great videos that we love to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of fun doing it.
Right. So just to wrap this up, I have to say this film, I'm hitting my mic. Too excited.
Don't hit the mic.
Yeah. So this film is just a total wild ride for the money.
Yeah.
On streaming. It's on streaming. It's one of the smartest films I've ever seen. It's meticulously crafted and almost perfectly executed, like I said. So if you're looking for something good to watch, we highly recommend this movie, right?
Yeah.
So just check out this film. Like I said, it's mostly a 2-character story, which is very hard to do with only 2 characters. So the actors did great and the writing was great if you're impressed by that. And we are starting a new rating system.
Yeah, you created this.
I created this. I want us to have a grading system so you know where we stand on all our films. Because we just say good, bad, but I want to give it a rating.
Oh,
and
so what did you come up with?
Out of 5, 1 through 5.
1 through 5, okay. I don't even know about this. This is the first time I'm hearing this. So
yeah, surprise. So the grading system's 1 through 5, and since we're a horror comedy hangout podcast, I'm giving it screaming smiles. So you're screaming and smiling
like that
at the same time.
Yeah, look like crazy. Like that?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, I like it, but do I scream and smile at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's like you're horror and you're smiling at the same time. You're laughing and you're crying at the same time.
But I like it. Screaming smiles. This is great.
Yep. So we're going to give it 4 out of 5 screaming smiles.
4.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
Are we on the same page?
We are on the same page.
Okay. I like that. 4 out of 5 screaming smiles on this. So go see it. We highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
You won't be disappointed. So thank you for joining us on this review of Strange Darling. We're the Horror Comedy Hangout podcast. We have our reviews or interviews every other Thursday. They come out on YouTube and any other streaming service, audio and video. So please check us out. Like I said, subscribe and like, comment. I will respond to all your comments as well. So please check us out and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.